Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, my name is Debbie Tona. I am the owner and furniture artist down here at Tona Transformations, where every Thursday I come live at 4 p.m.-ish. I'm a little late. Mountain time to say hey and take something that I found either thrifting, estate selling, garage selling, or just out of my closet and transform it into something that we can reuse in our homes. So I pulled this out. I have a stash in my back room. It's kind of a thin metal. It's kind of cool, right? It looks like somebody was telling me earlier. It's one of those like, I dream a genie, right? And she's gonna, and then I have another one. Now this is wood. And then I had painted at one time to show somebody a color of a paint, and I never did anything with it. So if you hop on, say hi so I know you're here. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I am live on my channel and YouTube all at the same time. So we're going to put some texture on this. What do you think? So I just washed this with Dixie Belle's White Lightning, but gosh, it still feels greasy. I hope I washed it good enough. So the texture should help mitigate anything that is stuck on there. Let me take that banner off the bottom because the banner is making it so you can't see the bottom of the screen. Okay, let's take that off. I'll put it on towards the end. So we're going to go ahead, and I've got my salt wash. Have you guys used salt wash? Salt wash is a texture medium, which I am in. What color are we going to paint this? I grabbed this color. I just grabbed some random colors. So this is Harbor from Mud Paint. It's a really pretty kind of an aqua. Of course, my paint is stuck. Aqua-y jade-ish color that, let's see, look, big old goober in my paint lid. Let me just pour some of the paint out. Way more than I need. And let me get the goober out. These FIFO lids do clog very easily because paint sits for, a hot minute and then they clog. But this is mud paint. So mud paint is a clay-based paint. So I'm just going to leave it in there and incorporate it back in because we're doing texture. So it will normally just reincorporate it and with some liquid, write it back into the paint so you don't have to throw it out. We're going to add a little bit of salt wash. Salt wash, like I said, is the texture additive that allows, you can open that door if you want. And I just closed it because if you're back here, it's okay. It's a texture additive, and I put too much in, that will, when added to paint, will just give you that little bit of texture that it needs. I really think that this piece is so smooth, it needs something. So we're just going to mix it up. And it's pretty thick. See that? Plop. I'm going to add a little more paint because I added too much salt wash. So you just kind of have to adjust it. I don't really have a recipe for what you should and shouldn't. I don't even know what it says. Apply a glob-like technique, gently pulling up peaks. Isn't that funny? That's just what I said. Mix the salt wash powder to any paint of your choice until the consistency becomes thick and icing-like. So they don't have measurements either because really there's not an exact measurement. You just got to kind of eyeball her. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going, honey? Are you warm this week? We sure warmed up. Like we're supposed to be in the 90s today, but we had some freak. I didn't want to use this paintbrush. Damn it. I'm going to take that paint off. I like to use the salt wash with my old janky paintbrushes because I like this brush because it's got a hard stipple, so it'll give me more peak-likeness. So we're just going to kind of stipple it on here. We got a little bit of a weird storm. And I was talking to Benita today, and we were both back here saying we didn't think it was supposed to rain today, and it rained. And you know why it rained? Because I had my windows washed yesterday. Yep, I get them washed once a month. The window guy comes and washes them here at the store for me. Who else can agree with me that there's nothing worse than walking into a beautiful store and their windows are disgusting? God, I can't stand that. It just drives me batty. So I have a guy come once a month and wash my windows and my window seals outside, because it's funny how just 1 month and spider webs and dirt, and especially when you get in Idaho, we have a lot of blowy wind that comes in unexpectedly. So of course it rained today because he washed them yesterday. And of course they're all streaky now, but oh well, what are you gonna do? They're clean though. At least if it would have rained yesterday, I mean, and they would look even dirtier. So oh well. Can always predict. You get your car washed, it's gonna rain, right? That's how it is. So what this is doing is giving us, can you see the texture? Right? Isn't that pretty? You guys know that follow me. Ronnie knows this. All of you that are watching that have followed me for a hot minute, that I am absolutely in love with texture. I love adding texture to anything that I possibly can. You know what it does? It hides a multitude of things that you otherwise can't hide. It helps these super shiny pieces make it so that the paint will stick with no problem. And it just gives it a, instead of that smooth look, it just gives it a really cool, I mean, I could leave this like this and be done right now. I'm not going to, but I could. I am going to try to get this to dry while we do the other one. It might be a little loud, but actually, will you come here and do this for me? Just over it. Let's see what we can get to dry on it. Now, this one is not metal. This is a wood piece. Yeah, because it's not as loud as to pick it up. Would you take it like over there? Put it on that stool and just drag it over there. Just put your finger right there. So it's not so loud. So then I have this one. This one's actually wood. That one was metal. I don't really need texture on this one. Texture and sawmill gravy. Girl, you know me so well. You know me, you know me, you know me. Right? Been warm and raining, huh? Good. Right? We were all freezing last week. I don't need the texture of this one. The thing about texture is it takes forever to dry, so but I have enough left over. I'm just going to do it. I hate to waste the paint because I already have it mixed up. I'm not a paint waster. I will cover this with like a lid, but then it will dry out eventually and I'll forget. I have all these containers with half done paint sitting in them, right? So let's just use up this paint because I mix so much. Add some texture. It's so much fun because you can also use this. That's what I did this wall with, the salt wash texture. So you can use it for a variety of things. You can make raised stencils with salt wash if you get really, really thick with it. You can do a variety of things with it. So texture is two things, texture and sawmill gravy. Sawmill gravy is a paint color, by the way, if you're new to my page or my channel, is a paint color from Dixie Belle that I just love. It's actually sitting right here. It's kind of an off-white color that really ties everything together. So I have been painting mirrors and frames like crazy. I have a new display in the store. Have I showed it to you? I don't think I have. I'll have to do a live. I'm getting ready to restage the whole store, like the whole thing next week. That's my plan every day to redo new vignettes. I have all this stuff sitting out over here that's done and ready to go out that I haven't put out yet, and just waiting to get it out into the store. So trying to think of two colors that are going to go with that. So I pulled a couple. I pulled a red. A purple would look really good with that too. I pulled this kind of tan color. What do you guys think? What else should I? Why are your Why are your comments not showing? Hi, Tanya. Well, you caught me live. How's it going? Thanks for watching me on YouTube. I do appreciate that. I'm trying to dry my pieces right now. Is it getting close? Yeah, it's getting close. Yeah. It just takes a while. That's the only thing about doing my videos, right? It takes forever to dry. Well, yeah, because I got a little thick. So, what was I saying? I have a new spot in the store that I did a whole area of mirrors. Hi, Lori. Purple. I think you know what to. I'm going to grab my purple. Hold on, you guys. I have some pretty purple here. Couple different brands, not purple. I've got. Let me find them. Hold on. Two of them. One is Milk Paint's Eggplant, which I love this color. It's a beautiful purple. And then Dixie Belle's Amethyst. So the mud paint. That's good enough. Look at that. Right? And then the amethyst is this one. Yeah. Let's put some red in there too. Because blue and red make purple too. A little bit of this aged red, and that is from mud paint. So this is a quasi-dry. Not all the way dry, but a little dry. And let's go and see what we can play with. I always need a paper towel so that I can kind of not regulate our paint a little bit easier. Hello. Okay, what did you tell me your name was? Voodoo. Is it? Oh, I was gonna remember. You're from New Zealand. Is it Emily? Gosh darn it. I'm trying. Sorry if I blew it. What is your first name again? Because it comes up as Voodoo. Is it Emily? I'm probably don't be mad at me if I didn't remember. I can't remember my own children's name, let alone everybody else. It's so hard. But I recognize the Lisa. You know what? I gotta remember that because you're the way you spell your name from Australia reminds me. I have a cousin who married a gal from England. Her name is Lesha, and it's spelled Leisha. So whenever I see your name, but I know you pronounce it Lisa, I would think of her name. But then I'm going to call you Lesha. Sorry. But thank you for understanding. So we're going to add a little bit of the eggplant mayo. I still have the purple or the blue that we originally started with on my brush. And let's just kind of start pouncing, right? So the pouncing helps me to just, and I'm going to just kind of, this is called loading your brush and offloading your brush. Give me the base to kind of, I don't want it to be all in the same area. I'm going to just dip into all the colors and kind of just start playing with them. Thank you, Benita. Helps when I have an assistant, right? So much easier. You guys don't have to sit here and watch me dry paint. We're just going to add a little at a time. I think I am going to add some of the original color back in here too, so that way I can have something to go back and forth and add a little bit to help, since it's dry, smooth it out, right? The great thing about this kind of stuff is even if it starts super bright, when we end, we can always put dark wax, dark glaze, and the brightness can be toned down, but still have the underlying of it. And it's usually what makes home decor so pretty. A lot of these times I start with this super bright color, and end up with a very sultry, warm color because I've toned it down with a dark wax or a glaze, which I just did on a piece that I'm doing for my private group, the Tribe. And it started out with bright red and blue, and then I put a black wax over the whole thing, and wow, it is sensational right now. I hope to have another YouTube video up soon. And I do appreciate you guys watching me over on YouTube and Facebook. I am trying to grow my YouTube channel. That is my goal for this year, is to grow it enough to get people to start watching it over there. The thing that scares me about Facebook is this. How many people do you follow recently that have had their pages hacked? I know so many people that do what I do, that have huge followings, that have hacked pages. Somebody takes them or pages over. Sometimes they ask for money. Like, I ain't got no money to give your page back. And it probably won't happen. Oh, I shouldn't say it. Hopefully it never happens. But it's been happening to the pages with like 1 million subscribers. Not subscribers, they're followers on Facebook. But it's crazy, right? The thing about YouTube is that doesn't happen. So all this content that I throw up here is going to still be there. So I'm trying to do it on both. So I have this handy little thing that will actually go both. You're boring. You're not boring, Tanya. Yeah, so it's trusting the process, right, Tanya? It's so true. You just got to go, and then suddenly it turns out. And if it doesn't, then you keep adding till it does. Or guess what? You stop and you paint the damn thing over. Who cares? But back to my story. I've had so many people lose their pages, and they are blocked out. So every video they ever did is gone. You can't access it. You can't share it. Now it belongs to somebody in whatever country. And I don't know what they do with them, and I don't know what they hope to gain. I mean, obviously they're making money somehow off of it. They're selling people stuff, and then people think it's you and it's not you. It's a pain. So the switch to going to YouTube and to really relying on that is that doesn't happen in YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So that's why I'm really hitting the YouTube hard this year. If I'd have been doing it for these last 7 years, all my stuff would be secure. So that's why. Because I'm tired of hearing that story. Jamie Ray got hacked. She sure did. And she had these people with freaking ransom. They had masks on her page. She finally got it back, but it's not always that. It doesn't always happen like that for people. Not always. I've been trying to get Facebook to pay me for the money they owe me because I'm monetized on Facebook, to get them to update my stuff. Do you know that for 3 months now, I've been trying to get a hold of somebody? Do you know that whenever you ask them a question, it automatically has a bot that sends it back to you? That ain't a real person. And there's nobody to talk to. So that's not fun. So they have a whole big chunk of my money. It sits there every month. And I keep trying to update it and figure it out. Nope, doesn't happen. I'm going to set that on the side. Actually, that looks really cool. But you know what we're going to do is we're going to dark wax that, and it's going to change the whole entire thing. Let's paint this one differently. Let's paint it the same but different. Let's add this color, which I'm interested to see. This is kind of like this is called Stone. This is by Mud Paint. It's a grayish brownish color. Let's add it with the purples and stuff, right? Let's see what it does. Is it going to make it pink? I didn't think about that. Sometimes I like to do a lighter color on one with the same like color schemage to see what happens. So anybody got any big plans for the weekend? Wedding season, graduation season, Everybody got that all done yet? All of our schools here in Idaho have been graduated and done. They do it in late May, which is nice. I know my grandkids that are in California, they're still in school. Our kids here are out like before Memorial Day, but they also start like the second week of August. So it's nice in the beginning of the summer, but they hate it at the end of summer. My grandsons are like, it's already time to go back to school. I'm like, didn't you just get out? But yeah, so I guess it's all relative. Whether you go till before Memorial Day, or if not, then you start after Labor Day, right? Either way. But just a little bit of paint goes a long way. It's your grandson's 25th birthday. Happy birthday. Oh my gosh, you got salmonella. Oh, AI. You know what? Have you guys used AI for anything? So I've been playing with it a little bit lately. You know what does anybody know what that is? So artificial intelligence is like taking over our world pretty much. So I'm going to add a little bit of the purple now over the top. And what it is it's this, like, I go into the program. Have you ever used Chat GPT? I have no idea what the GPT stands for. Do you know what it stands for? I don't know what it stands for. Chat GPT. It's on artificial intelligence. So I was trying to update some descriptions on my website. So I put, furniture artist, loves to paint vintage furniture, upcycle, does home decor, teach classes, DIY. You try to do it with the punctuation and do it all. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. And I took what I wrote and put it in Chat GPT, and it wrote the most beautiful. It's on my website. Go look at the first page of my website. I was like, how to do that? And it's instant. And you're like, why is this computer smarter than I am? It's kind of scary. But I've been using it more and more for descriptions and for some of my YouTube videos. Because, after, Miss Here, look at what I just did. I just added that harbor back in. Oh, wow. Look at how pretty that is. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Happy mistakes. And using it, and like you put what you want, and then it will rewrite it for you. If I was in school or college right now, how are they grading papers? Because these kids have so much at their fingertips. When I was in school, we had encyclopedias. Okay. Now they just say, hey, how do I write this? And it writes this beautiful thing. They don't even have to think, which is good and bad, right? It's like counting change. How many, anybody under 30 know how to count change? No. I mean, it's our society. What's happened. Look at how pretty that turned out. Oh, I'm like, okay, so look at this. Let's look at this together. They are coordinating, not matching, coordinating. Okay, we're going to dry them. Because I want to add some wax, and I want to show you what the wax is going to do. You had encyclopedias, Ronnie? Yeah. Nope to AI. I said that too until I started using it for silly things like that, just because it just is so helpful when you own a business. But it's crazy. Has so much of it. Like all the pictures that are out there now, and you can change your face on, put it on this person. Like all that stuff is, a lot of that stuff is fake, in the news media or whatever. So-and-so was seen with, yeah, they can put your face and your image on anything. It's insane. Our grandkids, like my 2-year-old grandson and my 1-year-old granddaughter, what is, the world that they're going to grow up in? It's insane. But kids don't know how easy they got it nowadays, right? For homework? Like, really? What do you mean it's hard? Give me a break. So these little craft dryers work really well. This is an actual heat gun. You can see the fire coming out of it. Hotter than a blow dryer, so it does dry pretty fast. But I want to wax this, but it's not dry up here. The texture is still a little wet. So we probably just won't wax this top part up here. Let me see if this is dry enough for me to put some wax on it. Because I'll start pulling the paint off if it's not dry enough. Okay. Let's grab some wax. This is going to be fun. I'm going to grab, what do I have out already? I got my DIY wax out. I'll just grab it. And how about some black wax? Let me grab some black wax. Where's my black wax? So my favorite colored wax is the DIY brand wax. Love this stuff. I didn't use DIY paint, but I'm going to use the wax that's for it. I use the clay-based paint though. You love eggplant? Go on. Yes, they can Google everything. Everything. Or ask AI, and it'll tell them. You could all you do is ask them and it just tells you the answer. It tells you the damn answer. Okay. So we're gonna grab some clear wax first. Oh, I didn't grab a rag, but I got one right here. Right on. Okay. We're gonna just throw that on there. The reason I'm gonna use the clear wax first is, no, Ronnie knows the answer to this, is that it provides a barrier so that when we apply the dark waxes, we can easily just use it as a highlight instead of a all around. So if I were to not clear wax this piece first, what would happen is when I put a dark wax on it, I wouldn't be able to wipe it off. Sorry about the bell, but customers are coming in the store. Hopefully it's not as annoying as my bell was in my other store. That one was really loud. It would make people's dogs bark and go crazy on my lives. But anyhow, the clear wax gives us a little bit of a protective barrier so that when we do go to add a dark wax, it doesn't look like we just spread brown, black smear and it won't come off. It allows it to have a barrier so we can wipe some of it off. There are instances when you can just apply it direct, but I always like to err in hoping that I need to be able to wipe a little bit of it off, and I clear wax first. Cool. Look at that. That is some black wax. I'm going to use a brush, a smaller brush, and I'm just going to go in there. And the thing with the dark waxes is that you don't need a lot. Okay. I'm going to go in and we're going to put it on down here. If I had it clear wax first, that would pretty much be the look, right? And I don't want that as the look. I want to get really deep into all, see how this has like grooves on it? This little thing at the bottom. I want to get it really into those grooves, okay? Basically, I'm going to do the whole thing, I think. Do the bottom. And then we're going to do the top. Do it in sections, okay? Do the bottom half. Okay. So see how dark that is? If I hadn't put clear wax on and I tried to wipe this off, it wouldn't wipe off. It would just stay. So since I put the clear wax down, it helps me have a little bit of a barrier so that I can kind of regulate it. And then the dark wax will just fall more in the cracks and give me a highlight. This is already a very dark piece, so you're not going to see it as much, but it is going to deepen it. Look at the difference between the top and the bottom. You can tell how much deeper this is and how bright the blue is up here. Same amount of blue on this one, on the bottom part. To see though, this is much deeper. It's a huge difference. And that's why we clear wax first. Take my word. If you don't do it, you'll be sorry. You won't be able to take off the dark wax as much, and then it'll just be like, well, the black and brown or whatever colored wax you decided to use. I love to use wax. I love the DIY wax. It's my favorite. I do retail DIY paint. I just got a shipment in. I like it better than any of the other paint brands that it carries. dark waxes. It's just so creamy. And it works on any type of paint. So it doesn't matter if it's not DIY paint. This is not DIY paint. This is mud paint, Dixie Belle paint, all combined. There. Now look, right? It just deepened it. Isn't the color fun? Now we could add some like, yeah, I could see some chalk paste on here or something, but it kind of looks very vintagey. Still looks like Genie in the bottle, right? Look at it compared to this one. Now let's do this one. We'll do half, and so we can see a before and after, okay? So this one's the same thing. It shows all the details. It really does. It shows all the details. So, oh, I didn't clear wax it first. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this one and not clear wax it first. We'll see how much it sticks. Because I already started doing it. We're going to do half, okay? Now, these are oil-based wax. So if you wanted to paint over this, unlike a Dixie Belle wax, oh, this one's coming off. Not so bad. Shoo, we got lucky. They didn't clear wax at first, but it is coming off. So that's the after, before. That's a huge difference, right? But it would have been a little bit lighter and not so deep if I would have. In this case, it actually worked out just fine. Clear waxed it first. Sometimes it won't come off that easy. And you're like, oh my God, what did I do? I should have clear waxed it so that way I could have that barrier. But if you did like I do, just take your time. If for some reason, whatever you were painting, you hated and you wanted to redo, you wanted to repaint it, if you're using an oil-based wax, such as DIY wax, mud paint wax, you have to strip it with paint thinner first. They say mineral spirits, paint thinner and mineral spirits are the same thing. And because you have to take that wax off because your clay-based or chalk paints will not stick to it. If you're using Dixie Belle wax, you can paint right over it because it's a water-based wax. It will stick to that, no problem. How pretty that is. It just gives it the depth that it didn't have, right? If you clear wax, will it lighten it? Yes, it will, Ronnie. It will in this one. It actually turned out okay. I could put the clear wax over the top and try to remove some of the black wax. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, the dark wax reminds you of the little black dress of the piece. Yep. Right? So fun. It's pretty, right, Lori? It kind of looks like a jewel tone, right? But these were painted in coordination, not to match, and they coordinate fabulously together, right? So remember that when you're painting, it doesn't have to be same. They're the same color, jewels, tones. Look at how we started, right? And now they coordinate. Now I can set this up on one of my new displays. I need something else, maybe a greenery, maybe like a plant or something to give me a little pop of color, right? And then you're done. So you guys take your stuff and paint it. All the paint you need, I have. TonaPainting.com. Thanks, Kim. It's pretty, huh? So, any more questions? Well, I've been on for 45 minutes. That was super easy. Super done. I textured. So first, let's start what we did. We added some salt wash to our paint. Look at my hands. And this stuff, okay, you guys, I get asked questions all the time. Why don't you take off your jewelry? Because the paint does come out. And I'd rather not lose my jewelry because I will lose it. And I just paint with it on. I don't ever take off my jewelry. And it will wash right off. So we started out with salt wash that we added to our paint to make it have texture. So these have gorgeous texture on them. Can you see the detail of the texture, right? And then we dried that. Optimally, if you let it dry on its own, it would take about 2 hours to dry. And then we just painted with a little bit. I hardly used any paint. We're talking dots of paint. And then we just did purples, a red, a tan, and a blue, green, and put them all together. And what do we got? Ta-da! And then we waxed it with some black. So you have questions, let me know. Thanks, Ronnie. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, you guys, for watching. If you have ideas on things that you'd like to see, let me know. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, you can go to my website and sign up there. Most of you probably already get it. I send out a newsletter every Wednesday or Thursday that updates what we're doing in the shop and leads you to the videos and Thrifty Thursday and all that stuff in case you can't find it. I post videos regularly on YouTube, so please start watching them there. If you're catching the replay of this on Facebook, stop watching it on Facebook and go over to YouTube. Would you do that for me and subscribe to my channel? And you guys, I love you all, and go out and be fabulous. Have a great Thursday, and thanks for watching and supporting my small business. Let me tell you, by watching me on YouTube, you are supporting my small business, because once I get to enough watch hours, YouTube's going to start paying me. So that's why I'm throwing everybody over there too, and my content's safe. Okay, guys, go out and be fabulous. We'll see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.